Amanda, thanks for chatting with me today. To dive in, I guess, with a big question.
Okay.
Approaching this role of Anne, how did you grapple with her as this revolutionary leader and one that you thought was worthy of receiving this kind of spotlight in 2025 America, but also without maybe viewing her as a religious extremist?
Oh God, I think it was very clear from Mona's perspective and in how she wrote the script that it was that we were celebrating the ideals of this movement. Not on, like we were celebrating the ideals, and that like it was just so rare to have this woman leading a movement, just to create a community where people could be safe and created and treated equally. But but it was also just like she sh- her profound grief is something you really really need to take a look at and really be curious about, because people do different things with their grief, and what she was able to create with that is extraordinary. I really couldn't relate to that. I mean, I guess she didn't have a choice. She could have killed herself or done this, but most people don't do this with their grief, or aren't capable of it, and I get it. I think I didn't see her as a religious fanatic. It's that I saw her as this human being so desperate for faith and finding purpose and finding a greater, like a higher power. Um, just desperation, really. And she had these radical ideas that were so like unheard of in the 18th century. And I think she just comes from like such purity and such such compassion in a world that still lacks it. I can, but I it doesn't feel. Listen, the hard part about this, there's many hard parts about this actual project, but the hard part about like relating to this woman is that she was so empowered. But once I realized she was empowered because she didn't have a fucking choice, I was able to understand and wrap my head around it. But it was a lot to wrap my head around at first when Mona brought it to me. So I was like, I don't see myself as someone who could play her, but I realized that many of us can play her because there's so many things to attach yourself to.
Hmm. And that was the big question.
Right.
The light question is, I mean, you've spoken recently about Mamma Mia 3, and I was just curious, why is this even a role that you want to return
Oh,
to that world?
I'm playing myself. It's more just I want to return to the open arms of Colin and Stellan and Pierce and Christine and Julie and hopefully Meryl, because even though she's dead, she's got to be a part of Mamma Mia 3. There's just no doing it without her. I grew up in that world, and people really love it. And bringing joy, the set is joyous itself, and then bringing having that joy, you know, reverberate again through the world is just all positive. And we always need to go back to what brings us joy. And I think it's a very cozy home for me. And I love the idea of picking up where I left off, and or seeing where my character is as a mother. And I love being a mother, so I love portraying a mother. And it's almost been 10 years, and we said we wouldn't wait 10 years to do it, and it's about fucking time.
All right. Well, Amanda, thank you for the thoughtful responses. I appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
best of luck with Testament of Van Lee. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks. Yeah, thank
Thanks.
you.